Good afternoon and welcome to the December Hogs and Pigs briefing. My name is Lance Honig and I serve as chair of the Agricultural Statistics Board here at ASB. We're very pleased to have Dr. Cindy Nickerson, USDA's Deputy Chief Economist, join us as Secretary Designate today. This briefing is for the Secretary of Agriculture and other policymakers at USDA to better understand the content and context of today's report. I'd like to take a moment and express our appreciation to three of our field staff who assisted us with today's report. We had Michael Crawford from our St. Louis office, Simon Gomez from our Denver location, and Nick Streff from our Lincoln, Nebraska office assisting us this time. Before I turn things over to our presenter, I do have a few notes for our live streaming audience. The Hogs and Pigs report is considered a principal federal economic indicator report. The Office of Management and Budget provides specific guidance on how this important report is to be released. OMB statistical policy instructs policymaking officials to refrain from making public comment regarding the content of this report within 30 minutes of its release. Therefore, we will not be taking questions from the public during this briefing. NASS staff, however, will be available for phone or email questions. We strive to have everything presented in this briefing match the official record. However, should there be any discrepancy, always refer to the official published estimates. With that, I'll turn things over to Travis Averill. He is the chief of the NASS livestock branch. Travis.
Thank you, Lance. And I appreciate everyone joining us here today for the December 2024 Hogs and Pigs Agricultural Statistics Board briefing. First, I'd like to provide an overview of the December quarterly hog and pig survey data collection process. On the map, the U.S. map, there are sample sizes by state for the survey. The sample size was 6,046 operations this quarter. Data collection started on November 30th and finished on the 11th of December. Normal collection methods were used to collect data this quarter: mail, web portal, phone, and face-to-face interviews. The primary data items collected were total inventory by class and weight groups, along with sows farrowed, pig crop, and pigs per litter. This quarter's revisions for U.S. hogs and pigs, all inventory and pig crop estimates from September 2023 through September 2024 were reviewed using final pig crop, official slaughter data, death loss, and updated import and export data. The table has the initial estimate, current revision, the net revision, and current estimate. For all hogs and pigs on September 1, 2023, net revision is an increase of 2.2%. The current estimate is at 75.9 million head. For the June to August 2023 pig crop, the net revision is an increase of 2.6%, and the pig crop is at 35.1 million. This is the second opportunity to revise June 2024 data. So the all hogs and pigs net revision is an increase of 0.4%. Current estimate is at 74.8 million head. For the March to May 2024 pig crop estimate, that is a net revision down 1.1% from previous, or down 1.1%. And current estimate is at 33.6 million head. If this quarter was the first opportunity to revise the September 2024 data for all hogs and pigs. Net revision is a decrease of 0.5%, and current estimate is at 76.1 million. For the June to August 2024 pig crop, the net revision is an increase of 1.2%. Current pig crop is at 35.4 million head. December 1, all hogs and pigs is at 75.8 million head, up 0.5% from previous year's inventory. Breeding hogs is at 6,004,000 head, up an increase of 0.1% from 2023. Market hogs is at 69.8 million head, up 0.5% from last year. The top 5 states are listed in the bottom left-hand corner. Iowa leads the way at 24.6 million. though down 2% from 2023. Minnesota is in second at 9.5 million, up 2% from previous year. North Carolina is in that third at 8.2 million. That is an increase of 4% from last year. Illinois is in fourth at 5.6 million. They're also up 2% from 2023. And Indiana wraps up the top 5 states at 4.45 million, and they are down 1% from previous year. And to the right of the top 5 states is U.S. quarterly hogs and pigs inventory from 2015 to present. The December inventories are represented by the orange squares. In the previous quarter for September of 2024 is the green diamond. Now we have the map of the United States for December 1, 2024. Hogs and pigs inventory with comparisons 2023. The top number is the inventory of the unit of 1,000 head. The bottom number is the percent change from the previous year inventory. Of the 16 states here on the map, 9 states are increasing from previous year, and those are in blue. The darker the magnitude of the blue, the larger the percent changes from prior year's inventories. 7 states are decreasing. Those are illustrated in red. Again, the darker the increase, the larger the percent changes from previous year. 2 notes to take away from this map. You can see that there's 2 record highs on the map for December quarter. That's in Minnesota and Pennsylvania. Those are represented by the pound sign followed by the inventory number on the map here today. As I stated on a previous slide, market hogs is at 69.8 million. So let's look at the breakouts of the market hogs by weight groups. First, we have the less than 50 pound weight group is at 21.8 million head, up 1.2% from 2023. The 50 to 119 pound weight group is at 19.4 million, an increase of 1.4% from previous year. The 120 to 179 pound weight group is at 14.8 million, down 0.6% from last year. The 180 pounds and over is at 13.8 million head, down 0.5% from 2023. Below the table is the quarterly distributions of weight groups since December 2021. Now we have the sows farrowed for September to November 2024. It's at 2,955,000 head. That's down 7,000 head from previous year. And so back in the September quarterly hogs and pigs report, the second intentions for the same quarter, September to November, was at 2,959,000 head, compared to the first intentions in the June quarterly hogs and pigs report of 2,945,000. So for the second intentions for December 2024 to February 2025, sows farrowing is at 2,930,000, up 1,000 from prior year's actual farrowings. And in the September quarterly hogs and pigs report, NAS had the first intentions for this quarter, quarterly sows at 2,933,000. So the first intentions for March to May of 2025, sows farrowing is at 2,953,000, up 40,000 head from previous year's actual farrowings. At the bottom is the U.S. quarterly sows farrow chart since 2015. Sows farrowed for September and November are the green squares. The second intentions for December to February is the orange diamond, and the first intentions for March to May is the purple triangle. Pig crop weaned for September to November 2024 is at 35,238,000 head, an increase of 2% from previous year. This is a record for the September to November quarter for pig crop. In addition, the pig per litter weaned is at 11.92, up from the rate of 11.66 from last year, and up 0.2 of a pig from previous quarter. The chart of the U.S. quarterly pigs per litter from 2015 to current. As you can see, from 2019 to last June, we stayed around 11, tapered around that 11 range of piglets per litter. And since last September, the quarterly litter rate has been record high 4 quarters, and this quarter is an all-time high at 11.92. Trade expectations compared to NAS estimates as a percentage of previous year. The trade ranges are gray, the trade averages are the black circles, and NAS estimates are the red squares. Of the 6 items on this chart, Two of the estimates are within trade expectations, the breeding hogs and the second intentions of sows farrowing for December to February. The other four items were lower than trade expectations, all hogs and pigs. Market hogs, the September to November pig crop, and the first intentions for sows farrowed for March to May. The all hogs and pigs chart of ASB first estimates versus final estimates for the last 10 years. The ASB first and final estimate are blue and red line respectively. The trade ranges are illustrated by the light gray. So note 5 of the last 12 quarters, the ASB final estimate has been within trade expectations. Here's a table of the U.S. breeding herd for the last 10 years and provides the disposition and utilization. The previous quarter breeding herd was at 6,044,000 head. During this current quarter, hog producers slaughtered 836,000 head while adding back 796,000 to have the breeding herd at 6,004,000 head for this quarter. That is up 5,000 from last year. Sow utilization is calculated from the current quarter sows farrowed of 2,955,000 divided by the previous quarter's breeding herd and equates to 48.9%. The Canadian imports by quarter for feeder pigs and slaughter hogs. The Canadian feeder pigs and slaughter hogs imported for the fourth quarter of 2024 accounted for 1,585,000 head compared to 1,676,000 in 2023. This is a decrease of 5.4% from 2023. The Canadian quarter import values are above the respective quarters. The feeder pigs as a percentage of the imports are the light blue. Of the imports from Canada, 71% are feeder pigs or 1,132,000 head. That is down 8.5% from last year's total of 1,238,000 for that given quarter. Where slaughter hogs as a percentage of the imports are illustrated with the darker blue. Slaughter hogs accounted for 29% of the Canadian imports of 453,000 head. That is up 3.4% from last year's total of 438,000 head. Next, we have the U.S. prices received by farmers for hogs and corn. The chart provides the prices for the last 10 years. The hog prices are blue, the corn prices are red. The most current prices are for October. The November prices will be released next week on December 31st. To the right of the chart are the hogs and corn prices for the last 6 months, along with the ratios. The 6-month ratio ranges from a low of 15.06 in May to a high of 17.66 in August. As you can see, all 6 months are above the historic break-even of 15. Highlight of selected upcoming NASS reports. As I stated earlier, next week, December 31st, agricultural prices. January 2nd, the CARE report for the cotton systems, fats and oils and grain crushings. January 6th, dairy products. January 10th, grain stocks, crop production, and cotton ginnings. And then on January 24th, milk production and cattle on feed. All reports are available on the NASS official website. I appreciate everyone attending today's live streaming session for the December quarterly Hogs and Pigs ASB briefing. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day and happy holidays. This concludes